on.
Yes, I can see it now.
Great. Let's just get that up. Oh, gosh. There we are. Let me know when I can start. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar from Silvertouch Technologies. My name is Sam Kelly. I'm the Business Development Director for Silvertouch Technologies in the UK, and I'm joined today by my colleague Pratik Odavia, who is an SAP functional architect. I will be telling you more about Silvertouch Technologies and how the webinar will be run. And Pratik will very kindly take us through the demo for today. Just before we start, we'd like to cover some housekeeping. So everyone on the call is on mute. And any questions that you would like to submit, we would very much welcome. Please submit your questions in the chat box. And at the end of the webinar, we will be able to answer the 3 to 4 questions, hopefully. And also any questions that we can't answer, we will answer after the session. So without further ado, I will start and introduce you to today's webinar. So hopefully, as you all know, today's webinar is entitled Harnessing AI with SAP Business One for the Manufacturing Industry. Just to tell you more about Silvertouch Technologies, we have access to over 1,400 qualified IT professionals. We have run over 4,000 successful projects, over 125 of which were successful SAP Business One implementations. We've been in existence as an organization since 1995. We've been in the IT industry for over 27 years, and we have access to over 100 RPA consultants who help us with our AI and RPA projects around the world. We're also CMMI appraised and ISO certified, just for your reassurance. Moving on to Silvertouch Technologies offerings, as I've already mentioned, we are able to provide AI and RPA solutions. We're also an ERP provider, so we are an SAP partner. We're able to sell the software, implement the software, support the software, and also host the software as well. So we have cloud solutions available, both public and private. We also provide enterprise software services, such as cloud development and mobile applications developments, for example. We're also providing modern workplace services, examples of which include IT consulting, backup and disaster recovery. We also provide managed security services. And again, examples of this include cloud security, email security and protection, endpoint security, website and application security, and also security awareness training. We also work with a very large ecosystem of partners. We value our relationships with partners. As I've already said, we are an SAP partner, and our partner ecosystem allow us to deliver complete projects to our customers in terms of their digital transformation within their businesses. This is a very small snapshot of our partners. As I've already said, we work with over 80 partners, and we're part of a very large ecosystem. We're also a Microsoft partner. We're also working with partners who help us with AI and RPA projects, such as Automation Anywhere and UiPath, sorry. And as I said, this is just a small snapshot of those 80 partners that we work with. And we will leave this presentation with you after or we will send, I should say, this presentation to you after the call, where you can look at this at your own leisure as well. And just to tell you more about our geographical footprint, we have a presence in the USA, Canada, UK, and France. We are headquartered in India, where we have a number of branches, and also our head office is based in India as well. As an organisation, we've been very fortunate to win a number of awards. We've had a number of achievements. You can see these on our website, but the most recent of which was Rookie of the Year, which we won at the SAP Partner Summit in 2024 in Phoenix in the US. And just a small example here of the clients that we work with across the globe. We're very fortunate that we work with a diverse set of customers. Again, just a snapshot, obviously, here, but just to demonstrate the diversity, we've got, manufacturers there like Scrub Daddy, who are manufacturing cleaning products. We also have STEMcore, for instance, who supplies steel. And we have VVB, for instance, there, who help deliver infrastructure projects. Which leads me on quite nicely to my next slide, which looks at the industries that we serve. So we're serving many large industry sectors. And as I've already said, we're able to diversify across those sectors. So as you can see, we're dealing within retail, manufacturing, wholesale, automotive, FMCG, etc. And again, as I said, we will leave a copy of this presentation with you after the webinar, and you will receive details of the presentation. And at this point, I'd like to thank you for your time. And I will hand over to my colleague, Pratik. Pratik is going to tell you more about SAP Business One, and is also going to take you through a demonstration for today's webinar. So I'll hand over to you, Pratik, if that's okay.
Yes, Sam, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me nice, loud and clear.
Yes.
All right, great. So please allow me to share my screen. I hope it is visible now.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So hello, everyone. And the voice you will hear for the next 40 minutes or so is Pratik Odhavia. Thank you once again for joining us today. And what you're looking at right now is not a London Tube metro map. This is SAP Business One Process Metro Map, which actually talks about how comprehensively integrated a solution is. I love this diagram because it talks about the entire solution in a nutshell. Starting with the CRM on your left-hand side, you get to see the entire quote to cash or procure to pay cycle. And it actually interlinked with the procurement, inventory, or financials, or the production for that matter. So it's a comprehensively integrated, global, scalable solution which supports 42 different country-specific localization and 28 different language support. So if you have your offices expand across the world, and for an example, you want to run a solution in USA, maybe in UK, and also a company in Canada, and you want a solution to run in a French language, you're looking at a truly one global application in SAP Business One. Now, moving on to the next slide, it actually talks about the SAP Business One architecture. So with SAP Business One, we can actually support two different type of deployment method, be it an on-premise or cloud. So if you want to have your server at your location, and maybe you want to run on SQL or maybe on HANA database, which is a SAP database technology, you choose the option. We support both the deployment option, be it on-premise or cloud. And you also have an option whether you want to stick to the standard legacy SQL database technology or the SAP in-memory computing database technology offered by SAP. On the top layer, what you see is the flexibility and the extensibility possible with SAP Business One. When you have the software development kit, the integration framework, and with the service layer, SAP Business One can connect to any third-party solution for that matter. So be it your e-commerce platforms, maybe your payroll solution, which you're using locally, or any in-house solution which you have created, and you want to connect with SAP Business One, the solution is very, very flexible and versatile. All right, so let's talk about the agenda for today's presentation. The topic is harnessing AI. So I'm going to focus on the business intelligence, which is available as part of the SAP Business One, powered by HANA, which is called High Analytical Appliance, the in-memory computing platform available by SAP. Then I will take you through the predictive analytics. We will touch base on forecasting tool inside SAP Business One and how it sets you nicely for the procurement and the production process. There's been a lot of buzz about automation and the document extraction. So I'm going to introduce the vendor portal solution offered by SilverTouch, which talks about how we can process such documents. And as a bonus, I will also take you through the warehouse management solution. Since this webinar is all about the manufacturing, I will take you through the standard SAP Business One manufacturing process. And at the end of a session, we'll look at how we can personalize the customer experience with the tools like chatbot built inside our B1 Analytics cloud solution. Again, a solution offered by SilverTouch Technologies. All right, so with that, I'm gonna share my screen. And Sam, maybe you can quickly confirm if you can see the navy blue background with some white square boxes on it.
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, so now what you're seeing right now is a home cockpit of SAP Business One, and I have logged in as a manager. Now, as a manager, I'm a financial manager, and that's the reason you get to see a lot of KPIs, which are in the square boxes, or some of the dashboard, which are like bar graphs or the line graphs pertaining to my financial department. Not only that, you get to see the entire workbench of the financial process within my department. This is my cockpit view. And with this cockpit, not only you can visualize information. So for an example, there is a KPI which actually talks about my open AR invoices, account receivable invoices. So just click on this block here, and it actually takes you to the entire open AR invoice list here. Now there are golden arrows. So with golden arrows, drill down, drill around. So with one click, you can actually navigate inside the AR invoice, and you can look at the information about the customer, the item, and the unit price, and so on, so forth. So right here from the cockpit view, you can actually interact, or you can drill down to various information. I can also create shortcuts here, like, I'm sure everyone asked the question, like, where are the modules? So all the modules are listed here. And if I need some of the functionality to be accessed as a shortcuts, you can actually create the common functions. For an example, you want to probably look at maybe AP invoice, just click on AP invoice, and it actually opens up the transaction window from where you can do various transactions. Now, what you see here is actually configurable. Okay. We hate to use this word as a customizable. The entire solution, what you see today, is configurable. So let's see how I can configure this existing cockpit view. Okay, there is an edit option here. it actually allows you to, now place certain KPIs. If you want to move around certain things, you can do that. Not only that, if you want to add maybe some pre-configured or pre-designed dashboards or the KPIs to your existing cockpit view, we have got this widget gallery. Now, this widget gallery consists of hundreds of KPIs and the dashboard, which are built in for the users. Okay, you can actually use various filters to see your information like dashboards, KPIs, so on and so forth. Excuse me. Yeah. Now, if I need to search, maybe say for an example, a sales specific dashboard, you can just look for this information. And now it is sorted the options for me. I'm looking at this top 5 best-selling items, maybe top 5 customers, or maybe top 5 sales employees. And I want to see the analysis by them. Just pick them up, update my cockpit, and scroll down below. You get to see now all the dashboards been updated to my existing cockpit with the real-time information. And as you hover around, you get to see the snap view of the information as well. All right, simple and easy. Now, again, everyone asked me the question like, okay, these are all pre-configured dashboards and the KPIs. How about an ability to prepare your own custom KPIs and the dashboard? To answer that, SAP Business One has this tool called Predictive Analytics. Now, this is a solution, again, available out of the box, which allows you to create your own custom KPIs and the dashboard. Let's quickly look at one of the example of how to create a new dashboard here. All right, now, if you know the database or the structure of the database, you should be able to write a query. And if you don't know how to write a query, don't worry. There are system written queries given to you. So for an example, I want to do maybe some gross profit margin percentage analysis. So there you go. It has the query is written here and the result is in the table format. But I do not like this representation. So what I can do, I can fetch the information and I will now slice and dice with the measures, which is called revenue versus gross profit. And I want to do it by all my customers. Okay. And I can also limit the information to maybe top 5 customers. And now you get to see the nice little bar graphs for you. If you don't like such column chart, maybe you love pie charts, then use the pie chart. Once you have this representation done, you can save this dashboard. Not only you can bring it to your existing cockpit view, but you can actually display this information to some of the sidebars of some of the marketing documents like a customer record or maybe a sales order or maybe an account payable invoice or so and so forth. One of the quick example of creating those dashboard and in the sidebar can be seen with the business partner or maybe with the customer. So what I have done, I created this gross profit analysis. I'll pick up the customer record. If you know the name, just key in the name. So it has picked up the Veritas Corporation and the code of this customer. And on the sidebar, on the analytics tab, you get to see the revenue versus gross profit analysis. Yeah, so this is how you can slice and dice the information and make them visible across the solution as well. Now, everyone asked me the question like, how can we search various information? How do we have any search, something like Google-like search? So we have got this search bar here. It's called an enterprise search. For an example, I want to look at for a data or maybe a sales order number 8. So all I need is 8. That's it. And look for the data. So what the system is doing now, it's actually going through the entire database. It is scanning across all the documents and will pull up some number of resources, which has 8 embedded across documents. So look at that, how fast it is. In a couple of seconds, it has actually pulled out 10,298 resources, which has 8 embedded across the documents. Yeah. Now you want to get to the sales orders. You got a couple of filters here. So I can use the sales order. So 10,298 resource converts into 16 resource. As I hover around, you get to see the snap view of all the sales order. Number 8 has been highlighted for me. So what I can do, I can click on it and it takes me to the sales order number 8. So this is my customer, the item details, unit price, discount, and so on and so forth. Now, if you want to find out anything with regards to number 8 document, what you can do, just click on relationship map, right click, and you will actually get to see the complete 360 view of the entire transaction. Isn't this beautiful? It actually talks about the sales order, which was created against the quotation, and there were two down payment invoices being generated. That means you have received the advance payment against this sales order, and you have this AR invoice, which is half in green, half in red. That means it is not been paid half. So right here from the relationship map, you can actually dive inside the AR invoice, and you get to see the bottom below, like what is the applied amount and what is the balance with that specific invoice. All right. So this is a quick overview with regards to how quickly you can slice and dice information, navigating from operational information to the financial information at a click of a glance, and everything can be accessed with the help of the cockpit. So that's a quick overview with regards to business intelligence, which is available as an out-of-the-box solution offering. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, and it actually talks about the predictive analytics. There has been a big buzz, about the artificial intelligence and what SAP Business One is doing about it. So let us look at this intelligent forecast tool within SAP Business One. I have got this menu bar here. As part of my MRP tool, let's pick up the forecast here. Okay. Now, this is a standard forecast screen, which you can see. I have created a forecast for 2025, which is our current financial year. It talks about the speaker high definition 2025 forecast. I can create a daily forecast, weekly forecast, or a monthly forecast. You can list down all the items, warehouse, and the quantities which you want to probably sell over the period of time. Now, this is a very standard way to create a forecast. But let's look at the intelligent forecast tool available inside SAP Business One. Now, SAP Business One uses advanced algorithms and statistical models to analyze large volume of data and predict future demand patterns, keeping in account demand, preferences, and the growth opportunities. So this window actually allows me to play around with some certain information. So let me pick up the same item, which I have created a simple forecast, is a tabular forecast. So I'll pick up the item. If you know the code, you can write down the code, or you can always use the lookup window to pick up the item. You can also, prepare your forecast by items or by preferred vendor, depending upon your criteria. Now, there are different algorithms, the statistical models which are provided to a user. The very first one, it talks about the TESM. It's called triple exponential smoothing. And the next one talks about LRDTSA, which is a linear regression with damped trend and seasonal adjust. These are two statistical models which are being used by SAP Business One to predict the future demand based on historical sales data, your trends, and seasonality, allowing for more accurate inventory planning within the system. Now, I mean, you decide whether you want to select TSM or maybe the another one, or just let the system decide for you. You can then choose, I want to prepare a forecast keeping the historical sales order or historical delivery or the AR invoice. I want to do it right now against the historical sales order, and just one click and the forecast is generated for you. There you go. So in the table format, again, it actually talks about your all the data which has been forecasted for you over the period of months for entire 2025. And you also have the graphical representation. So in the blue, it actually talks about your past data. And in the orange shaded color, it actually looks at your forecasted numbers. Now, this is not only for the visualization purpose. For an example, you probably want to drag and drop and simulate the past records. You can actually go ahead and do this. Okay, so I can actually move around certain graphs here, assuming that in this year maybe I probably would have sold this much, and you get to see it has actually started changing the quantities for you. The forecasted quantity started updating. Isn't this fantastic? Now, once you're happy with this forecast, what you can do is you can save and close. It will say that it will overwrite the existing manual forecast which you have created. And there you go. So now your forecast has been created with the help of such intelligent. Now this forecast will really ensure that you plan your inventory planning, be it your procurement or be it a production activity. So we'll touch base that at later stage. But what is going to happen is like once the forecast is created, uh, then the MRP wizard, there are step-by-step guide which allows you to pick up those forecasts or pick up those sales order, because these are like your demands. So once the demand is generated, there are certain wizards available inside SAP Business One. So it's a step-by-step process which will factor in a lot of other information. So the speaker MRP, this is exactly the scenario which I have created as a forecast. I'll pick this up and I'll say, next. In the next screen, it actually talks about the horizon or the window in which you want to prepare your, recommendations in terms of the procurement or in terms of the production. Yeah, so there is a step-by-step guide. It actually talks about what is the item. So I have forecasted for only one item, so I want to prepare a recommendation for only one item. Yeah, which is my high definition speaker. Then I say, okay, what are the different warehouses I want to include? We want to run it for different bin locations or company wide or a warehouse wise. In the next screen, it actually talks about like, do you want to include your historical sales order, purchase order, or any future purchase order or production order out there on the floor? Okay, so a lot of selection criteria before you actually hit run. And once you hit run, it actually tells you exactly when and how much you need to produce and procure. So what you're looking at right now is a lot of information, but let me try and summarize it for you. So on the first row, what you see is the high definition speaker, which is my finished good, which is actually made out of some of the raw materials. Okay, now you get to see some of the raw materials down below, like, high definition speaker is made out of code, tweeter, woofer, so on and so forth. It actually tells you like, what is my initial inventory, what is the demand for such inventory, and how much is the supply. All right. And accordingly, it will update you various information and it will tell you exactly when and how much you need to procure or we need to produce at a specific given period of time. So on the recommendation tab, what you're seeing right now is the production order and the purchase order being recommended for different type of an item in terms of the quantity and in terms of the dates. Yeah, and if there is a default vendor or a recommended vendor, system will tell you if you need this SP100 code, go ahead and pick it up from this vendor. Okay, and the system will generate those purchase orders to specific to that vendor automatically. All right, so now you are set up nicely. It's a nice little automation available which set you up, your procurement team and a production team to action upon certain events over the period of time in the year 2025. Okay, one of the very intelligent way to or a smart way to plan your inventory. All right, now let's talk about the next topic, which talks about the document extraction process. All right, so let me introduce our Silver Touch vendor portal. Now, what this solution is basically a solution available for your customer's vendor. That means your supplier will be able to interact with your ERP solution. In this case, it would be SAP Business One. So this is my login page. I'm gonna quickly log in as a supplier user. Okay, so with solution like this, we are trying to solve your customer's customer problem or a customer's vendor problem. We also have a customer portal. What you're seeing right now is a vendor portal, which is an offering available out of Silver Touch. And Silver Touch been heavily investing into such application for automating the document information extraction process. So we'll look at that in a while. And as you log in as a supplier user, you get to see this view. Nice little dashboard available as a supplier. And as a supplier user or a vendor user, you get to see plenty of things like, uh, my quotations, my orders, invoices, credit memos, payments. So a lot of options here, but I'm going to focus on a one specific option here, which is called and invoice processing. Yeah, how we can extract the document and quickly process it inside an ERP solution from a third party. So let's get into this invoice processing as an option. Now, this is a very tedious process. Yeah. In a real life scenario, what happens is a supplier will be able to create an invoice. Okay. Once he creates an invoice, maybe in a PDF document, he's going to send out that document as an email. You'll receive that copy as an email. You download that or you print that paper, and then you enter this information manually inside SAP Business One. It's a tedious process, isn't it? I mean, like, imagine there are hundreds and thousands of invoices been coming across different vendors. Look at the time and the effort which are required to process those documents inside SAP Business One. How we can solve this problem? Yeah, we have this option called documentation extraction process. So right here, what I will do, I'm going to pick up an invoice which I have created as a supplier. So it actually talks about this document as a PDF document. Okay, it says the invoice number is 62, the date, the pay to, ship to, and these are the item quantity and the discount. Now this is my PDF here, which I have just picked up. I click on process invoice. So what it will do with the help of the built-in OCR technology, it is scanning the entire document, extracting only the relevant information which is required for SAP Business One mapping. Okay, now on the right hand side, what it has done after the extraction process is completed, it has picked up the vendor code or the card name. It's picked up the document date, document due date. If those some of the dates are not available, it will not fetch the information. That's fine. Yeah, it has picked up the currency. It has picked up even the invoice number. Okay, it has picked up the items, the quantity, the price, and the line total. Yeah. Now, once you are happy with this extraction, all you need to do is click on Save Data. That's it. Once you have saved this information, let's look at what happens to SAP Business One. Yeah, because now vendor has sent an invoice, so that invoice needs to be captured and it needs to post a transaction inside SAP Business One. So let's go back to my SAP Business One screen. Let me fetch that document through the purchasing account payable invoice. I can also create a shortcut like this. So I can pick it up from here. The last one should be my latest record. And boom, there you go. You have got this invoice number 62 been created inside SAP Business One. At a one click, you got the vendor details, you have the item codes, the description, the quantity, unit price, so on and so forth. Now, what I have done right now for this demonstration is I've actually processed one invoice directly inside SAP Business One as a seamless integration. But if you need an intervention like, this invoice needs to be created as a draft, then it needs to go for an approval process. Once it is approved, then and then it should create an AP invoice inside SAP Business One. So we can actually help you set up the entire process in as per your best business practices. In this case, just in order to save the time and just wanted to establish the fact how seamless the integration works. That's the reason I have created this AP invoice directly right here from the vendor portal. All right. Now, since we are at the vendor portal, let's also touch base on some of the other automation which we can establish. Now, everyone talks about like, online RFQ, like request for quotation process, because again, a very complex and a very tedious process. Let's again understand with an example, like, you have raised a purchase quotation. Now that purchase quotation has been sent to different vendors. Vendor will pick up and they will submit their responses. Now, assuming that, there are 10 vendors from which you are expecting a response, imagine how tedious the task is, because every now and then you need to come down to SAP Business One and you need to, open the purchase quotations. And then, whenever the quotations are created, you need to keep filling like, what is the quoted quantity, what is the unit price. Yeah. Once you receive those responses from vendor, you need to fill up this information and then you compare it. Now, in order to solve this problem, what we have done is with the vendor portal, we have got this option that is called online RFQ process. Okay. So with that, what will happen? For an example, I have created this, quotation through an SAP Business One. So let me show you that quotation very quickly. And that quotation is created in a draft mode. Okay, so I'm going to run this document draft report. What I wanted to show you is the purchase quotation, which was created as a draft number 40. Okay, so the quotation was created and it has been sent out to this vendor, ABC Technologies Incorporation. I'm looking to procure SP100 code. My required date has been set up and I need required quantity as 10. Okay, now since that request for quotation is gone to the vendor, let's look at from the vendor perspective. So I am come back to the vendor login screen now. All right, so number 40 is been here. So what I can do, I can actually pick it up. So basically this talks about my queue. Okay, what is my queue here? So this is the queue number 40. That's the one I need to action. It has been updated or maybe received today. So I'll go ahead and click on edit. Once you click on edit, you get to see, the request. Like, it has been requested today. This is my vendor reference number. And they're actually expecting me to deliver it today. So if I have the availability, I'll say, okay, I can ship it by today. I can ship it from this address. I can ship it. Once you decided to pay me or agree on the purchase order, you can actually make the payment here. These are the items. Now you get to see all the items which are requested for. So you'll say, okay, I can give it to you at $10. Your required quantity is 10, so I can actually supply the 10 quantities as well. And this would be my shipping type, maybe FedEx, DHL, or USPS. You can also put down some notes like a best quote. And I'll say submit the quotation. Once I hit that submit to quotation, again, what will happen? The information is transferred and carried forward to SAP Business One seamlessly. So if I go back and I run this draft report again, pick up the purchase quotation, last one but not the least, there you go. My purchase quotation has been updated. So if I click on this golden arrow, you get to see my purchase quotation, which is still in a draft, but you get to see the quoted quantity, the unit price, which has been updated by the supplier. Okay, this is a very, very complex operation, and most of the logistic people can correlate this with me, because once you have, streamlined this entire process, your job as a procurement manager become much easy. Okay, so now once I have this quantities been updated, I'm happy with this. What I can do, I can add this as a quotation. All right, so quotation has been added, so it has created a quotation number 40. And once you're happy and once you have compared this quotation, it's time to release a purchase order. What you can do, just use a copy to functionality, click on purchase order, and the purchase quotation is now converted into a purchase order. That's it, simple and easy. So my purchase order is created and it has been gone out to ABC Technologies. Again, as a vendor portal, you can actually pick it up those purchase orders, or you can also email this out, or you can print those documents right here from the toolbar. But I'm not going to focus on that. As I promised you, I'm going to show you another solution available from the Silvertouch that's called warehouse management solution. Because we are not only trying to solve the problem of your customer's customer or your customer's vendor, we are also trying and solving the problems for your ERP user, especially the warehouse managers or maybe the warehouse coordinators. When they are continuously out there on the shop floor, they need a tool which allows them to do various transactions. So assuming that there was a purchase order which was created, yeah, maybe for the same purchase order like SP100 code for 10 quantities. Let's see, as a warehouse manager, how can I receive the goods against that purchase order? So with that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop my sharing and I'm going to share the screen from my mobile phone. So give me a sec. All right, so what you're seeing right now is my mobile handset, the real live mobile handset. You also get to see the picture of me. All right, so now with this WMS application, you can do a lot of operations. Okay, as a warehouse manager, you can receive the goods against the purchase order. You can put this away, stock transfers. You can actually ship it out against the sales order, any stock counting or any label printing. You want to issue anything against the production, you want to receive anything against the production, You get to do a lot of stuff, with this warehouse management solution. And basically, this is a solution available for your Android phones as well as for your iOS. It can also work offline, so you don't have to worry about internet connection. They'll be still able to capture those information. And once they're happy, once they're in the zone, then all the information will be synced back. Now, currently I'm running on my internet, so that's not a problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on this good receipt, PO. That means I'm receiving the goods against the purchase order number, which is 51. So I can pick that up. So order number 51, it talks about the item code. So what are the items you're receiving right now? So I have two options. Either I can scan it. Okay, so there is a nice little camera which will open up and it allows you to scan. I don't have an item scanner right now or a barcode printed. So what I will do, I'll pick up the item. So it talks about the item code, the name, what is the purchase order quantity, and what is the balance. That means you have not received it. So I'll say, okay, SP100 code, that's the item I want to receive. You can also decide whether which warehouse location or a bin location you want to pick up. You can click on this warehouse and the bin location code. So there are multiple bin location inside SAP Business One, but I want to receive it in this bin location. I can receive in full or I can receive in partial. I can receive the quantity, and once I'm happy with this transaction, I can save this. By the way, if it is a serial track or a lot track item, you can actually capture all this information in the same page. Right now it's a none track, and that's the reason it has not prompted me anything with regards to the serial or the batch selection. So I save this entry. There is a nice little view option. You can actually view the entry saying like, okay, these are the items. I'm planning to receive all the 10 quantities in that specific bin location. I can still go ahead and edit or delete this entry if I wish to, because this is still in a draft mode. Once I click on post to SAP, it will prompt me, are you sure? Do you still want to proceed? Because once you hit the post, it is going to impact the SAP Business One inventory and also the financial journal entries. Okay, so in a couple of seconds, it will give me a success message. So let's wait for that. Okay, there you go. So it has now created a GRPO document inside SAP Business One. And now it actually gives me the option like, do you want to generate the labels? I'll say, yes, I want to generate the label as well. So right here, as a warehouse manager, we are making this entire complex process a simple one. You have received the goods against a purchase order. You have generated a label, print that label right here from your phone. All right, put it on the box and off it goes. Simple and easy way to manage such complicated operations. And that's the power of, actual automation inside SAP Business One. So I'm going to come back to my screen again. And this is now my SAP Business One screen. And what you can see, I can go back to my purchase order. And let's see, if the information has been updated. So my purchase order is here. And this is my purchase order. That's a number 51. And if I click on refresh and look for another document, so there you go. It has created a good receipt against that purchase order. And you'll always get to see the relationship map to understand how the transaction is happened. Great. So as I promised you, I took you through the document extraction process with the help of our vendor portal. And as a bonus, I did manage to show you the WMS solution. All right, so let's move on to the important topic, which is our manufacturing. Clearly, this is the seminar it's for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up the production. Before that, what I can do, I can actually take you through the order recommendation, because uh, we have created the forecast with the help of this intelligence, which is a built-in statistical models. Now that statistical model has told us what is that you need to procure. So we have seen how the procurement works in nutshell. Now let's see how the system will suggest you or recommend you what you need to produce. So now I'm going to say, okay, show me all the production orders against that speaker high definition forecast which you have created. Right, so I'll say, okay, it will run the report and it will tell you exactly these are all the different production order, all the different quantities and the dates by which you need to execute them. Okay, so what I can do as a production manager right here, I can click on it and just click on update. And now it will release a new production order into the system. So once the order is created, what you can do, you can go to the production module and I can pick up the production order. So the last one would be the latest one, and that's my production order number 7. Okay. So what you can see here, number 7 is actually been released from an MRP. So you get to see the origin as an MRP. High definition speaker with 10 quantity. If you are a make to stock, then that's fine. You don't have to connect your sales order. If you are a make to order, you can actually connect your sales order against this production order. Okay, pick up the sales order and then connect this to a production order so that you get to see the visibility with regards to make to order. If you are a make to project, then you can connect your financial project. So irrespective of your different manufacturing strategy, we support all of them. Okay. Down below, what you see is the complete bill of material structure. That includes your raw materials, your routing steps. Routings are nothing but your step-by-step operation, uh, you know, which require different machinery, different labor, resources, tools, and the gauges. Because at the end of the day, when you're running a production, it's not only about capturing the cost of running the raw materials, but it also talks about capturing the resources while you produce the goods. Okay, so it can encapsulate all this information, the design number of quantity, and from which warehouse location you need to release them. Okay, let's quickly look at how we can actually convert this plan to a release stage, because that was planned, but now it's time that I'm going to release this production order to my shop floor. So it has been released. Now, once I'm happy with this, I can click on issue components. By the way, the same operation, you can actually do it from the WMS application as well. Okay. Now it will prompt me like for the first operation, what are the components you want to issue? Yeah. So I'll say, okay, for this specific speaker enclosure, that's the only operation I want to run. And it will show me the raw materials which are required only for that specific operation. Okay. In terms of the items, by the quantity, and from the warehouse and the bin location from where you can consume it. By the way, you can always override the information. Just click on it and it actually takes me through a serial number selection screen, because some of the items are serial tracked or lot tracked items. So system will prompt me like, do you want to select all those different serial numbers? I also have an auto selection option so that, it picks up all the 10 quantities, and then I'll say update. Okay, and that's how simple it is. So you'll be able to keep a track in terms of the lots or in terms of the cereals which you're consuming as part of the production process. So for the first operation, I have consumed those resources. And as in, you come back to the screen here on the production order, you get to see there are certain items been issued out. You get to see for the first operation, all the items been issued out, and these are the available quantities. All right. So this is one of the way, step by step, you will be able to consume all those components. I'm not going to go through the entire process. Instead of that, what I will show you is the completed production order. Yeah, for the 10 quantity, and it actually talks about, finished good has been completed. So if you look at the summary view, you get to see the component cost, you get to see the resource component cost, and what is the final finish got. Not only that, there is a relationship map which is available, which actually tells you, okay, what is the status of your production order. So these are for all the issue for the against the production. Yeah, in terms of the labors, in terms of the machinery, or probably the raw materials. And this is what you receive from production. When you receive it from the production, how many quantities and at what price? Okay, at what location it is available right now. Not only that, you will be able to see the serial number transaction report, because this is a serial track item. So it actually tells you about, when you are receive it from the production, what are the manufacturing numbers, serial numbers, the expiration date, the manufacturing start date, warranty end date. You'll be able to capture a lot of information, because at the end of the day, whatever you produce, and if you want to establish a lot or a serial traceability, then that is possible now with SAP Business One standard manufacturing process as well. All right. So the next one and the last topic, which I would like to talk you through, is the B1 Analytical Cloud. Okay, again, as Silver Touch, we remain committed to deliver values for our customer. And with such AI technology, let me introduce this solution called B1 Analytics Cloud. Okay, now this solution uses the advanced AI capabilities with which we can provide the customer with a personalized experience. When I say personalized experience, what do I mean by that? What right now you're looking at is a screen which actually talks about a sales specific dashboard. And this dashboard could be for your user or this could be for your customer. How we can actually slice and dice or personalize such information? You get to see plenty of information here. You get to see nice little graphs, bar graphs, some pictorial presentation about your sales order analysis. Now, there are a couple of options here. Now, for an example, I can slice and dice or personalize my view by selecting those options. Like I want to see maybe only first quarter. One click and the view will change, to only the first quarter. Maybe I want to include quarter two. Click on apply. And you get to see all this information be changing in real time. Now, please understand this solution is seamlessly fetching the information from your SAP Business One database. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the synchronization or the integration. This is done seamlessly in real time. Now, what I really like to show you are the chatbots, because there have been a lot of buzz about the chatbots, how we can interact with your dashboards or probably the ERP solution. So you got a nice little option here called an ask. Click on ask. It actually opens up a window and it say, okay, show me, and you can just write something, highest sold items for an example. Okay, and system will suggest me various prompts now. It say, okay, which item had high sales? Fair enough. I can pick that prompt and click on it. It actually shows me the complete analysis of all the items which is being sold in higher numbers. So it actually tells you the result and it actually prepare a nice little dashboard for you. Isn't this beautiful? Okay. That's the real power of AI when you actually look at such solution. Or maybe I'll say, show me the lowest sold items. Click on it. Which item had low sales? Fair enough. I like this prompt. Click on it. And now you get to see the items which had less sales. Okay. And it actually creates the analysis in terms of the information and also your dashboard. By the way, you can also have different type of, customized view. For an example, what I showed you is the sales dashboard. I can actually create maybe a production dashboard. So I'll say, okay, leave this page. Okay, maybe I need to quickly log in. Maybe the session time's out. And I'll say, why? There you go. Sign in again. I'm back to the solution. I'll pick up my production personalize view. And now you get to see a production specific cockpit view, which talks about my plan status, the orders due, the quantities, open quantities, rejected quantities, so on and so forth. And again, nice little options available, which allows you to ask the questions. And I'll say maybe, show me planned items, just for an example. Okay. And system will give me a prompt. And there you go. All right. So this is what I had to bring it to you today. By personalizing various capabilities, companies can easily win the trust of their customers. Chatbots are a fabulous technology that can be augmented to significantly improve the customer experience with solution like V1 Analytics Cloud. And that's all I have to show you today. That's a story from my side. Now I open the house for any questions. I know I'm sure you will have a lot of questions. We'll try to justify, maybe some of them. So Sam, over to you. Do you have any questions for me?
I do, Pratik. I've been selecting some as you've been talking. So the first question is, can you compare the variances as part of the production process?
Oh yes,
or can
absolutely.
you capture, sorry, I should say, Pratik, the variances as part of the production process?
Yes, I kind of get what you're asking here, Sam. Yes, so you can actually capture all the variances in terms of the over issues or the under issues as part of the standard production process. All right. And that is available with SAP Business One as an out-of-the-box functionality.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pratik. Another question that we've received is, can you process bulk invoices with the vendor portal? And can
Oh,
this be fully automated?
absolutely, yes. Okay, so as part of my presentation, what I showed you is processing just one simple invoice because clearly we do not have time. But with our vendor portal solution, with the document extraction functionality, you can actually process the bulk invoices at one go with one click. Okay, so multiple invoices with multiple line records can be processed right inside SAP Business One with a couple of clicks.
Perfect. Thank you. And another question that we've received is, with B1 Analytics Cloud, will I be able to create role-specific views?
Oh yes, in fact, that's exactly what I want to show you when I actually managed to log in again. So yeah, you can actually create number of different type of views for your sales, maybe for your production, for your procurement people, for your service people. You can have a different personalized view created for different users as well. Okay, so a lot of possibilities, and with the inbuilt chat bot technology, it actually gives you those prompt so that you can interact and you can ask the question to your ERP solution, which in this case is SAP Business One.
Perfect. Thank you, Pratik. So we'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining us on the call today. We hope that you found it useful, and we very much appreciate everybody joining. And at this time, I think we're able to close the session. Hang on, I think we've just had another question. Pratik,
Yeah, sure. We
bear
have
with
got
me a
time.
sec. Apologies, Pratik, I can't quite read the question properly. Sorry, it's in MRP. Apologies. I think we'll take this question away and answer it after the session, just to make sure that we've understood the question correctly, if
Yeah,
that's
sure.
okay.
And yeah, that's absolutely fine. And I think so this is just an opportunity wherein we want to showcase you what we have as a solution offering. It's just a very high level. There is a lot to talk about, lot to show here, but unfortunately, because of the time constraint, I actually managed to give you just a glimpse of what we have to offer to you. But we are more than happy to come back to you and have a one-to-one interaction so that we can answer a lot of your questions. We can actually show you a lot of other functionality about SAP Business One. In fact, I can actually go ahead and do this for entire day, but I will respect everyone's time here. And I think so, I'll say thank you very much once again for joining with us. And yeah, we look forward to connect and speak to you in detail later on.
And thank you very much, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.
Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Pratik, we have one question open. Hello, are you there? Vivekji, we will reach out to you on email.